Hey learners, as the second session of this cybersecurity virtual program, we present you another cybersecurity training. Did you know that 75% of the world uses Windows? That means a mastery in Windows command line can win you the war. Our special guest for today's session is Mr. Vikas Chauhan. He has 3 years of expertise in cybersecurity domain, one of the best people in pen testing skills and CDF challenges. A very renowned trainer in the UpgradeMore community, he is also known for his bug bounty and malware creation. Working as a senior security consultant in his organization along with Purple Teaming. So, learners, grab a cup of coffee, sit back, relax. We present you Mr. Vikas Chauhan.
Thank you, Tushar, for your lovely introduction about mine. Since Tushar has introduced myself, let's begin with our session. So today in our session we'll discuss various commands of Windows. So first will move to like what is Windows OS and command line. Then what are the roles? Then we'll move to basic Windows commands. Then and PowerShell tools. Then we learn about task scheduler and services and some tips and tricks of pen testing. So what is Windows OS and its command line? So Microsoft Windows, also called as Windows and Windows OS, computer operating systems developed by Microsoft Corporation to run personal computers. So I think everyone is familiar with the Windows operating system. Like now and then, everyone is using Windows, and it is a basic and user friendly. Like it can be done quickly and much faster. But there is some things like many people don't use, like command line tools. Like some use, some don't, because the GUI is so perfect that everyone use only the GUI. So we will learn various tools from command line. So what are the roles in Windows? So basically, like if you have used Linux, so there is two users. Like one is the normal users and another is the root. Root is basically administrators. So it is similar to Windows 2. In this, we have four process. Like first is the system integrity process, which is the system rights. It is the top most higher authority. Then we'll have the higher integrity process, that is the administrator right. Then the medium integrity process, that is the user right, and the last is the low integrity process, where there is restrictions, means we have less access to it. Let's move to the basic commands that will be used. Like we can use echo, cds, rename. So I will demonstrate to you with some commands. So the first step, like how to open command terminal, there are different ways. First is basically we can just window plus r, that is run, and we can just type cmd and the command prompt is appeared. The other way is basically the simple way, that is just search and type cmd and we can get it. And the other way, like if you want that it should be in this path, the c users upgrade. So we can just enter the cmd and it will take you the same directory where we are currently in. Now the echo command. Echo is basically just print the word that you enter. Like if I type echo hello world, so it will just print the hello world. But suppose you have to means print in a text, means you have to save into the text. So we can just echo hello world and we can write angular brackets and give any name to the file. Like I'll give the text.txt or anything like you want. As soon as you hit enter, a file is created with the hello.txt. In that, we can see the hello world text is present. Now, what if we type again, like if we change something like hello world and hi guys, okay. So here you can see that the previous text that we have entered has been missing because it just overrides. So to overcome this, we can use the double angular bracket. Like if I type over here the double ang and so if I look to the text, then the word that I've written it get appended to the next line. So this command can be useful in various ways. This is one of the three. We can use in like if we have some cells, then we can append every line. The next command is cd, that is change directory. Suppose I have to move to the directory B, so I can just type cd and the directory name. It is then we can move to the directory. Since there is no file in it, we can create also like echo, like we have used just earlier. Then if we want to move back, like I have moved to the B directory and I want to move to the previous directory. So we can just type cd and double dots. So we'll move to the previous directory. Now, if I want to list what are the directory present in that folder, what are the files or folders that is present in the directory, we can just simply use the dir. So it will list all the files that have been present in that directory. Now there are some cases that there might be some hidden files in that directory. Like I'll just hide this directory and I'll just show it. Now you can see the text.txt file has been hidden. Even if we search for the directory, it will not show us. So there is an argument that is the/a. It will list all the hidden directories too. We can see that the text.txt file has been revealed now. Then we'll move to the next command, that is clear screen. Like there is some many commands and there is that. Then we can just clear by cls. It will clear the screen and give a new refresh line. Now suppose you have to rename any file. Now I have a text file named hello.txt. Now I have to rename that file into some other name. So I just type rename hello.txt, and what is the file you want to name it. We can just type it, like I'll just type h.txt. So the file name has been renamed now. We can look for the dates, that what is the today's date. So the today's date is 13/02/2022. Now the copy command. Suppose I have to copy a file from a location or some current directory to some other location. So we
Vikas
can,
sir,
yes,
can you just reshare the screen because some of our viewers are facing the screen is stuck problem, and also can you just turn on noise suppression one?
okay.
So just reshare the screen. I'm sorry for the delay and this viewers. We are having some technical issues on this part. Please hold on for a minute.
Can you see my screen now? Hello, Tushar.
Yeah, yeah. You, I think you can continue. Just also turn on noise suppression in the voice once in the Discord channel. Yeah.
Just give me a minute.
Sorry for the inconvenience, guys. Yeah. So I think we can start again.
Sorry for the inconvenience, guys. I hope you can see my screen now. So let's just continue where we left off. So till now we have completed like what are the echoes, CDs, clear screens, rename, copy. Copy you have didn't complete it yet. Date and directory. So we'll look for the copy command. So suppose I have to copy the h.txt from this directory to another directory. So I'll just type copy the file name that I have to copy, and where I have to copy, I have to like give the path. So I have to copy into the B directory. So I'll just type the B and the file name, or we can just use the full stop. So it will save the as it is name. So we can see the acknowledgement that one file is copied to the B directory. So here is the file, the same file. Now, what if I have to delete that file or some any specific files? So I can just delete by giving the path or by getting into the directory and then deleting the file. So I use the DL for delete and the file name that I have to delete. So it automatically deleted my file. Now suppose I have to sort the files. like sort the data that is in the file. Let's just create one file, or we can use the existing file. So I'll put some random values in it. Now I have to sort in order. So I can use the sort command and the file name. Yeah. So here you can see that the number it is in the sequence ascending order. So we can use the sort for the like arranging the numbers in a proper format. Now suppose I have to find some text in a text file from various like many files. Like I have to search to every file. So we can just use the find.str. Suppose I have to uh, search for one file like password. Like mostly we use search for passwords. It can be in any directories. So when we use the find.str, it will look to all the current directories that I am present in for the password word like find star. I want to look for the password. First, I'll just give the argument that is s and I. Now you might be confused what is the si arguments. So basically, if you want to know that what are the arguments that I'm passing, you can just use the help menu. So basically, like find star and slash and question mark. So it will give the means help menu. What are the commands that can be needed? So S can be used for like search for matching files in the current directory and all subdirectories, and I stands for like the case insensitive that it won't be using case insensitive. So I'll use find the then S I S for searching and I for not case insensitive. Then and the word that I want to find that is password and what extension files I want to look for. You can look for star.xml, then .txt files, then I can look for any other config files because most of the password can be in the config files. So I just enter the command and I can see that s.txt has a word string that is password and then text.txt has a word password. We can also verify by it. We can see that there is a a word name password. Now there might be a question like what are the tasks that is currently running. We can just enter the command like task list. It will list all the processes that are currently running. And suppose I want to look for something specific. Like I know that I am currently running my cmd.exe, but it is a long list. We have to search for it. So we can just use find.stir and just enter cmd. So we can know that the cmd.exe is running. Now suppose I have to kill that process, like I want to kill that CMD, like normally we use close button. So we can just use the task kill and the process ID that we have to enter to kill that process. We can also use the help menu for it. So here is the command, like we can use the task kill, the process ID, and it will just kill the command. Or we can also give the name of it accordingly. So as soon as I enter the command, my command prompt got closed. Now run as command. Run as command is basically like if you want to run any command or any you want to open something. So you can open with different users also. Like if I want if there is a user called A, if I want to run in command with the A user, we can just enter that. We can just enter the command like run as slash user. What user you want to run as? That is, I can use any user like test user. And what you want to execute? That is, I want to execute notepad.exe. So the notepad.exe will run as a test user. Now suppose I have to know about my system. What is my system like? What operating system it's been used? So we can just use system.info. So it will list every detail about our system. So here we can know that what is the host name, like what is my PC name, then what operating system is being used, what are the versions, the manufacturer, and various other what is the system bit, that is it is 64 bit, and various things. And we can, in this we can also filter out by using the find dot star. Like if you want suppose I want to just list the OS that start with the OS, so we can use the find dot star slash b. B means the beginning of the string. So I want the beginning of the string is OS. So it will just load the data that start with the OS. So the it start with the OS, so we can get the detail accordingly. So we don't have to look to the entire data. We can look for only the specific data. Suppose suppose we want to know what user we are logged in as. So I can just type who am I. So it will tell me that I am logged in as a Vikas user. Suppose I want to know what is the system name. I know we have just revealed that we can use from the system.info. We can reveal the name of the system, but there are all many other alternative ways. So we can also use like host name. It will just reveal that the system is name is anonymous. Now suppose I have to read a file, like what are the contents in it. Like currently, now suppose I have to read that content, like what is in this file, but by the command line, from command line. So we can use type and the file name that we have to read. So it will just display all the strings or what things are in the file. Or we can use more dot the file name. It will give the same output, but in more there is a difference, that it has a huge line, like there is a vast content or info in it details. So it will limit to some specifically 50 lines. It will show just in first 50 lines, and accordingly, if you press on enter a space, it will show more content accordingly. Let's move to the next slide. That is basic command prompt and the PowerShell tools. First, we'll look for the basic commands like suppose I have to what is my IP to the system, so I can just type IP conflict. So it will tell that my system IP is 192.168.0.110. What is its subnet mask and what is the default gateway. पतली रहती तो अपना दीदी से बात करते पर दीदी के Now suppose I have to create a directory. Sorry for the inconvenience, guys. The PC got shut down. We'll just continue where we left off. So I was talking about suppose we have to look what are my system IP. So we can just type the IP config. So it will list all the drivers, means network drivers and the IPs. Like I'm connected to my wireless, so I can see that my IP is 192.16.110 and the subnet masks and the default gateway. Now suppose I have to create a directory, a folder in this directory. Like currently there is two directory present, that is A and B. I have to create another directory, that is C directory suppose. So I can just type make the mkdir and the directory name, that is C. So here we can see a folder has been created, that is C directory. Now suppose I have to check any system, like I have to check any system that the system is in active or not. So we can just use the ping command. For currently I don't have any system, so I can just ping to my local host, that is 192.0.0.1. So here we can see the system is giving us the reply and there is no packet loss. So we can conclude that the system has been active. We can also check for like Google. So it's giving us a reply, and there is no packet loss in it. So that means the system is inactive. Now let's move to the PowerShell tools. Set location is basically like the chain CD that we use to change the directory. Like we move from one directory to another directory. Then get content is basically for the cat, or we can say type or more command. Like it will show the contents in the file that is present. We can check just an example.
बैठने नहीं उधर था ना वो बैग है ना कितने तो बैठ नहीं पा रही है बैठ जा बैठो बैठो जल्दी हो गया
Now suppose I have to look the content in the s dot file, but with the PowerShell. So we can use the get content and the file name that we want to look for. So it will give the content that is in. Now we can also use the copy dash item similar to the copy that we used in the CMD. Then we can also use the remove dash items, and let's suppose we have to delete a directory. So we have removed the folder that is C. So it has been deleted from here. Then similarly, we can use set location, then get service, get process. We can also look for the best is like best is get help. It is a basic and useful because some command might be different, or some command might be new for you. So the first step is to do which look for the help, because it will tell you about the command, the argument that can be used. Now what many other basic command can be used in the PowerShell? That is, we can use the new dot item. It is basically used to create folders and files. Then copy dash items. Basically, to copy any file. Then we can remove dash items. To remove a file or folder. Then if you want to move any item, we can use the move dash item. Now suppose I have to list all the processes that are currently but in the PowerShell. So we can use the get dash process. So it will list all the processes that is currently being running by the PowerShell. Now what I want to list what are the services, because we know the processes, but we also need to know what are the services are being running. So we can use the get. So it will list all the services that are running and also give the status that which are been stopped or which are been still running. Now suppose I have to look for some specific services that are starting from some specific letters. Like I want to look for the services that are starting from the letter A. So I can just type get services A and star. That is wildcard. So whatever things that come after it, it will show us in the result. So this is the services that are running and what are the services that are in stock. So we can look all the services. Now we can, there is a thing like if you want to know what are the commands we have used till now, so we can use the get history. So it basically display all the commands that we have been used till now. So here we can see that I have used this command. So now we can move to the next slide. That is task scheduler and services. Task scheduler is basically like it is an advanced tool that allow you to create and run routine automatically. It's basically like if you want to run any services or any tasks that you have created some bash scripts, so you can just schedule it for some specific time or period, and the system will automatically run that script or services that you want to run. So to create a service task scheduler for some specific scripts, we can use the command that is so first we should look for the help menu, that is schedule task slash and question mark. It will give the detail about the what commands can be used. So here we can see that we can create, delete, query, change, run. Accordingly, we can use it. So suppose we have to create, suppose we need to create a means a scheduled task. Like I have to run one command daily, minute, or some specific time. So we can just schedule task, create slash sc. It's basically sc means we can specify how we want to execute that command or anything. So it can be daily, minute, weekly, hour. Then we can also use like when the system starts, when system boots, we want that script to be run automatically. So suppose I have to schedule a program that run every minute. So I'll just say
तो कि निकली जाएगी वो मार क्या मार ऐसे मारूंगी
and mo, that is 1 minute. Then we have to specify the task name. Then I can specify test. The task name is test and what I have to run. We have to specify it. Like suppose I've created one, I'll just create one file.
उदय उदय नहीं देगी नहीं देगी कितने में खाओ दे आ मैं भूखला आ जल्दी खा जा मैं मार हम सुबह में ऐसे शॉपिंग होती थी तीन दिन के 4 रुपए कुछ मतलब बैठी स्कूल लेके जाने के बाद तब जाकर मिलते होता है
So whenever I just execute, it will show us me the pop-up. I think it's not been running. But whenever, like, suppose you have some script or anything you want to run on a task basis, like on a specific time period, so you can just mention the path, like I have to some run some specific path over here, and I can just hit enter. So this line script, it will run the script every minute. Now suppose there is some scheduled task that are already been set, but I have to delete or configure or anything I have to do. So I can use like slash change slash tn, what are the task name? That is, if I created some name like test, then accordingly we can change it. Then suppose I have to delete the task, then we can use schedule task, delete, and the task name that we have been specified. Now suppose now let's move to the services. Services is basically like Windows services are core component of the Microsoft Windows operating system and enable the creation and manage long-time processes. Here is basically like if we want to start or run services, or we can look for the what are the services that are running. Now suppose now basically we can in the GUI format we can just search for the services, and we can see that here is the list of all the services that are still running and what that are not been running, that like it can be run by manually or automatically. Like if I double click, here is the steps, like if you want to run it automatically, manually, or you want to disable that services. Suppose I want to I want to start a services of OpenSSH, that is net start. I can just use the command start and SSH. Here you can see it is showing me SSH because the terminal that currently I'm using, it is in the medium level, so it won't be start. So we need the terminal to be executed in the administrator mode. So we'll just search run and run as administrator. Now we enter the same command. Now here you can see that the OpenSSH has been started. Even if you want, you can look over here. Yeah, here you can see that the OpenSSH is running now. But what if you have, what if you don't have the GUI word, means GUI present? So we can just use the SC command. Here we can see that the service is running or not. We can just mention the SC query and the service name, that is SSH. So here we can see the state, that is it's running. Suppose someone asks what is the where is the SSH file? What is the exact path? So we can mention the SC and QC and the service name. So here we can see the binary path of that service that is running. Now, if now I have to close that service, means I have to stop that service. I'm no longer needed that service. So we can just use the net command, net stop, and the service name. the service has been stopped. Even you can just refresh and you can look for your the service has been removed from your. You can also use the SC to start and stop service. Over here, let's move to the next slide. Some tips and tricks for pen testing. Suppose you want to share some file from Windows OS and the Linux machine. Because from Windows to Windows we can share, but just right clicking the folder and we can just share the folder. And accordingly, when we run the command run in the remote system, it will show all the shared folder that have been shared. Like suppose I have to share this folder, so I can just click on share and this folder it will be shared by the in the internal network. But what if the I want to share the file from the different OS? Like I currently I'm using Windows, and I want to get any file from the Linux system. So we can basically use tools such as Tool and PowerShell. So we can use tools like utils. The basic command is util, then URL cache dash split and dash and f argument. So we can just specify the IP of that Linux system where from where we want the file. So I can just enter any random IP and the port. And what file do you want to extract? Suppose I want any file that is test.txt. So when you enter this command in the command line, the file get is received into a Windows system. Same for PowerShell. Suppose you don't have any access or anything error which happened while using this command. So you can use inbuilt PowerShell tools. So here is the command. New object and system.net.webview dot downloads. Over here, you have to enter the source, that is a remote file location path. And here, and the second argument will be the where you want to save the file in your local. As soon as you enter, the file will be received on your local directory. Now, suppose you have to create any HTTP server that can be used for receiving files. So you can use various programming tools like Python, PHP, Ruby. So currently we can use Python, that is Python. For Python 2, we have command like Python -m simple HTTP server, and what port do you want to specify? And for Python 3, you can just have to specify dash Python 3 dash m and save the port. So it will create an HTTP server. So all the files that in the current directory will get shared. Now suppose you want to extract some data, like you want to extract Wi-Fi password from your laptop that is currently been saved. So I can just use commands like netsh, or you can just first use the help menu. So netsh wlan show profile. So here I can see that this is the Wi-Fi name that I have been like saved it. Like once we first connect, we use the password, and then automatically when uh, we are in the range of that Wi-Fi, it automatically get connected. So I want to see that what is the password of that file. So we can use that same command netsh, and over here first we have to give the Wi-Fi name. That is, I'll just give the Redmi and key is equal to clear. So here we can see that the Wi-Fi name is Redmi and the password is 8 time 1. So you can look for every password that has been saved to your system. Thank you guys. Like this is the session. Hello, Tushar.
Thank you, Vikas sir. Hello.
Yes.
Thank you, Vikas sir, for the session. I think it is also a lot of time as we have two questions for you. So we'll quickly finish it. The first question is from Mr. Ishan sir. He says that how to open SAM files.
SAM files cannot be opened like if you are currently running like logged in because it's been restricted.
Okay. Yeah, so let's get to the other question. What is the difference between Linux and Windows command line?
Basically, like Linux is totally based on the terminal where you have to like majority of the time you have to use the terminal command line. Like we just use the CMD, and it's basically like the GUI, like it gives the graphical interface so you can, it is user friendly.
Hmm, okay. And another question, can we find the path for a specific service which is already running?
Yes, we can find it. Like you can use the SC tool, that is service control, by just giving the service QC and the service name. So it will give the binary exact path where the file is been located.
Okay, so I think that will be the end of the session. Thank you guys for joining the session, and thank you all for staying so long with us. Yes, we ran into some technical glitches, technical problems like screen not sharing and audio issues, but we hope that this session was informative. Yes, if you have any questions, please join the Discord channel of Upgrade More community, and then you can post any questions regarding networking, cloud, cybersecurity, or any questions you're having regarding IT. We have amazing instructors and a full team of cybersecurity experts. Also, if you haven't joined or tested your skills in the lab, which is being created by Upgrade More community, please uh, go to our Discord channel and where we have the lab link. You can also find the link in the description of the video and solve those labs for the better understanding of fundamentals of computer networks and operating systems, and we'll have more labs coming up. Yeah, so thank you all. um, Learn more and upgrade more.